Okay, Paola, you can start the presentation.
All right. Well, hello everyone. I'm very pleased to be here with you.
Hello,
sharing.
Paola.
Hello.
Hi. I'm pleased to be here with you, sharing about my place, my country, and a little bit of my culture. Hopefully, I can put all this together in a short time. So, before we start, I'd like to tell you in advance that if you have any questions or you don't understand anything, you would like me to enlarge in any topic, you just stop me, all right? And you can ask any questions. Let's make this talk interactive, okay? Right. Before I start talking about education system in Argentina, which is the topic today, I'd like to tell you a little bit about my place, the city where I live, so that you can have a look at where I'm from. Well, my city is called Mar del Plata, which is, if you translate it literally to English, it's the Sea of Silver. That would be the literal translation of Mar del Plata. And it's referred to, has been historically referred to as the happy city. Maybe because Mar del Plata is the main tourist destination of Argentina, which is my country. And it's been the main tourist destination because it's the best beach resort we have in Argentina. We say that maybe some 5-6 decades ago, this was the only place where workers came to have their holiday or vacation. So Mar del Plata has become one of the biggest beach resorts in the country. Of course, nowadays there are more beach resorts in Argentina, but Mar del Plata stays as one of the best because it's very beautiful. I don't know if you can see from the pictures here. It's very beautiful city. It's 400 kilometers away of Buenos Aires, which is the capital city of Argentina. It's got beautiful beaches, imposing cliffs, lush woods. As you can see, we have different variety of geography in the city. Maybe here in the picture, you just can see the beach, but there are cliffs, there are hills, there are woods. We have the sea, we have a lagoon. So there are many different distinct characteristics of the area. It's got a population of 650,000 people who live here permanently. But in summer, with all the tourist array, we are 8 million people. 8 million visitors come to Mar del Plata a year. So you can imagine it gets quite a buzzing city, mainly in the summer. There in the picture, you can see the beach, all the people swimming in the beach, the picture on the right. That is the typical photo of Mar del Plata in summer, crowded with tourists that come here to enjoy the beautiful beaches, right? Maybe I didn't say anything about the weather. The weather here is not hot all year round. It's hot during the summer, but not the whole year round. Now we are in autumn and it's pretty cold. Well, some of the landmarks in my city. Here we have some pictures. There is always something to do in Mar del Plata. It's like you never get bored, you see? I'm show you, for example, there are some cultural attractions, many cultural attractions like art galleries, museums. You can visit famous and old houses that belonged to important people that now you can go visit them and have a guided tour of the house and learn about the history of Mar del Plata and the culture. And there are theater plays every summer. Many theater companies come here to show their plays. because as I said, there are many tourists in summer. So many theater companies come and you have many options to go to the theater. Also, you have beach parties, as you can see in the picture here on the bottom left. Many beaches are held at the beaches, many parties, sorry, are held at the beaches, mainly young people, but also elderly people too. They all enjoy having a drink, having dinner by the sea, and having a good time sharing with friends. Those are some of the typical pictures of Mar del Plata that you can see in summer. You also have sports. Many people like doing sports here, water sports such as surfing or many other sports, skydiving, walking along the coast. Mar del Plata has a 47-kilometer coastline, so that you can imagine this is quite a big city, and it's one of the biggest coastlines in Argentina for one same city. It's a very beautiful coastline, so people usually go there, walk, do sports, run, skate, or just hang out with friends and family. That is something you can see. Mar del Plata also has a port, which is very important for the economy of the city. And this is the classic picture that you can see there. It's the typical postcard, we would say, of the port in Mar del Plata, with the classical dogs, the fishermen, these orange boats that you can see there. And you can, whenever you go there, you can see many of these little orange yellow boats, which are the classic, and you can smell, this pungent smell of the fishing industry. You see, I don't know if you have a port there, then maybe you will tell me. And well, you can see the sea lions. The sea lion is one of the typical animals here in Mar del Plata. And we have it like in a monument, as you can see in the picture in the middle. We have a sea lion made of concrete, but in the port, you can see real sea lions everywhere. So people go there, take pictures of it. But as I said, they smell pretty bad, actually. All right. So far, so good. Any questions? Pepe, am I going too fast? Is it everything okay?
I think no problem, Paola. There's no problem. Okay, guys, do you think that Paola is talking too fast? No?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
Great, great. Okay.
You can continue.
Don't hesitate to stop me and ask me everything. All right?
Right.
Okay. So, yummy, yummy. This is our typical food. Well, some of our typical food. I would say that these are one of the classics. That is this is strongly related to our culture. I would say, first of all, this alfajores. This is the name in Spanish, alfajores, but I've made some research about this name, and I found out that the origin of the word comes from the Arabic language. And that was interesting because I didn't know. I was doing some research for this presentation and I got to know this, which I didn't know. Apparently, this word alfajor comes from Arabic languages, and it means luxurious, excellent. So I think it perfectly describes the food. So this is like a sweet cookie. It's like, I'm going to try and explain. 2 sweet cookies sandwiched with dulce de leche, which is what you have down there. And Pepe, today I'm going to show you the dulce de leche again. These 2 cookies are sandwiched with dulce de leche, which is this other type of sweet made of milk. It's like a caramel-like sauce, so that you can have an idea. It's smooth, very smooth, and with a toffee-like flavor.
But
Delicious.
It's not chocolate.
Not chocolate,
not chocolate.
nothing to do with chocolate. Maybe from the color, you can see it's chocolate, but nothing to do with it. It's, look, I'm going to show you. We buy it like this. Of course, there are different brands, right? But
there are so many brands.
This is, you cannot, yes, many different brands sell this. This is my favorite. And you just take a spoon and look. As you can see, I've already eaten half of it. Look, and so it's very smooth, you see, very smooth, and it's spreadable. We usually spread it on toasts. We usually spread it on cheese, on a banana, or just like this. It's very, very sweet. It's delicious. I wish you could try it.
I wish I could try.
So this, going back to alfajores, alfajores are 2 sweet cookies sandwiched with this dulce de leche in the middle, very thick layer of dulce de leche. And then sometimes people cover it with chocolate, the alfajor. That's why you can see it's with a chocolate cover. But we put dulce de leche to almost everything, as I said. Fruits, toast, cheese, whatever. It's delicious. It's very, very sweet. Of course, I never made it at home. It takes time. It's easier to go buy it. But grandparents used to make it at home. You do it by gently simmering milk and sugar together for over an hour, right? Until you get its thickness, right? And well, it gets thick, and that is when it's already ready to eat. Okay? I've never made it myself. I just bought it. But
so actually,
some people like
basic ingredient just sugar and
sugar, milk. That is everything you need. Sugar, milk. You simmer it together and cook it gently for an hour. Well, depends on the amount, but an hour or more. And then you get this delicious, delicious spreadable sauce. So that was the dulce de leche. Then we have the seafood. As I said, we have a port. So seafood is quite a classic when you come to Mar del Plata and you visit the port. You can eat there in the docks, and it's quite a beautiful view of the city. And then we have the other one, which are called empanadas. I don't know if you've tried them or have you seen anything like it. Empanadas, which is on the right, the last one on the right, you can have them from sweet to savory. You can have sweet empanadas or savory empanadas. Any filling, people use any filling, and this filling or stuffing is wrapped up, you see, you're wrapped in a delicate flaky pastry, which is this. These empanadas are renowned all over the world because that is one of the foods that defines Argentinian people. So the typical here is meat filling. Yes, like meat with maybe onion, pepper. We have a mix of everything, and then we wrap it in this pastry. It's really delicious.
Sorry, Paola, what is the name? Sorry, what is the name of
the name? The name is empanada.
I hear something about banana, so I think the feeling is banana. Okay, maybe
no.
Maybe can you write down the name in the chat box? Maybe like
yes.
What is it?
Yes, the thing is that let's see if I can go back there. Okay, let's see. Did I stop here?
Yeah, okay.
Chats. Empanada. Dulce de
Oh,
leche.
empanadas.
Alfajor.
Alfajor.
There you have both of
yeah,
them,
yeah.
right?
Alfajor. Okay, all right.
Okay. Am I back again in the presentation? Because I changed. Okay. Well, so those are some of the typical foods, because then we have asado. Asado is like roasted meat, like Americans would say barbecue, similar to a barbecue, but much better. But I didn't put a picture here. All right. So let's move on. And this, have you ever seen such a thing? This is for us, our national drink, mate. Mate. We have it in all different shapes and sizes, as you can see there. People usually have lots of mates in the house. I have more than 20 in my house. This is one. And we really, really love this drink. It means a lot to us. It's not just a drink. I would say that this is part of our culture, definitely. It's a cultural heritage, right? Mate, it's like mate defines us. You can see, let's have a look at how it is made. It is a caffeinated beverage, first of all, caffeinated beverages. Many foreigners see this and they think we are taking drugs, and it's not a drug. Of course, it's a legal drink, and we have to make this clear because some people look at us with a weird face and they say, what are you drinking? What are you having? And this is just our drink, as it's tea for the English or coffee for Brazilians or Colombians. Mate is the drink for us. So we share it with our families, with our friends. As you can see there in the picture, that picture, it was taken here at the coast in Mar del Plata. We go to the coast, share some mates, but we share mate every time, everywhere, at work, at school, in the streets, every time, in the morning, at noon, in the afternoon, in the evening. There's no time to have mate. It's always the time.
So
right?
Is it originally from Argentina, Paola? Is it originally
it's
from?
No, it's a regional
because
drink.
I see some people from Latin America and other from the country of Latin America also drink mate. So it's not
well, it's like we never agree here in the region who was the first, of course. But people from Paraguay, Brazil, the south of Brazil, Uruguay, they all have mate as the national drink. So it's like the region. It is traditional from the region, I would say. Yes, we see people from Paraguay all the time having mate also. So this is considered, as I say, our traditional drink. It's made with yerba, which is this like leaves, dried leaves. You see? Can you see there in the picture? Dried leaves, green, which are chopped until they get somewhat like a powder. So you put this dried leaves from the yerba mate, which is the name of the plant that gives us the leaves, right? We chop them down. It's not that we chop them. Of course, we buy this in a supermarket. We don't do that. There are companies that are dedicated to do that, the same as tea, for example. So you put this dried leaves here, the yerba in the mate, and then we use, as I said here, this, right?
Spoon, is it? Oh, no.
We say this, yes, we say bombilla, right? Okay. This is like a metal straw. Awesome. This is the metal straw. We put, first of all, we put the dried leaves here. Then we put this, and then hot water. Hot water, but not boiling water. If you put boiling water, you just screw it up. Yes. Hot water, but maybe 85 degrees, more or less. It's like that. So then when it is full, you start zipping it like this. Zipping. You zip it until you finish the liquid, okay? So it's okay to make this final slurping noise, you know, this slurping noise, just to make sure all the liquid has been finished. And that is when you can pour water again on it. You can have mate on your own while you're working or doing something, or usually when you share it, we have like rituals. The first, the one that is pouring water is called cebador. And that cebador is the first person who drinks it, right? It is like impolite if you pour water and you give the first mate to another person without trying it yourself, is seen as impolite. Okay, so you take the first, and then when you finished it, you pour it again and you give it to another person and to another person and to another person. So we share it in a group. With COVID, with the pandemic 2 years ago, this was not allowed. I mean, it was not allowed to share mate with other people because we all zip from the same straw. So that was quite not very healthy, according to the doctors. So we weren't allowed. But now that the pandemic has been over, yes, has got better, we started sharing it again because it's like we can't help it. It's part of our culture. So it's very difficult for us. So as I can say,
you don't need sugar. You don't need any sugar.
Some people put some sugar. Yes, it's good you mention it because I forgot to say that. Some people like it with sugar, but not me. Not me. No sugar for me. I don't take sugar in tea or in mate, but it's up to me. Many people like it with sugar, and some other people put every other things here there. For example, like a little bit of orange juice or lemon. That's up to you. Yes, I prefer it just like this, basic. So it's drunk alone. Yes. It's plain mate for me. So it's drunk alone or in social settings, family gatherings, etc. Okay. So it's gained great popularity throughout the world because you can see these people I show here in the pictures. The Pope Francis, I think maybe you know them. You know the people?
I don't think so.
You don't know. Okay. Pope Francis, which is the Pope for the Catholic religion. The one that is wearing white clothes, that is the Pope Francis, and that is the most important person in the Catholic Church here, right? Who lives in Italy. And then we have Messi, who is a football player. I don't know if anyone knows Messi.
I think Rogib no, because he is a football favorite, I think. Rogib, are you there?
You don't know Messi?
I know Messi. I know
Yes.
Messi.
No, mom.
Oh, in some commercial in television.
Yes, right. Some commercials, exactly. Yes. Well, that is our best football player. So, and it plays in France, I think. All right.
Yes.
Yes.
So this is Mar del Plata. All right. I show you the map so that you can compare where we are, and that is my country. I just put two pictures so that you can see where we are in our country and then where our country is in South America, in the picture on the right, you see? So our bordering countries are Chile, Paraguay, Brazil, and Uruguay. You see? That's why I said it is the region that has mate, Paraguay, the south of Brazil, and Uruguay, right? So as you can see, Argentina is a very vast country, very culturally diverse, right? It has 2.78 million square kilometers. And I did some research, and let me tell you if I'm wrong, I found out that Indonesia is approximately 2 million square kilometers, something like that. That is what I found on the internet.
Approximately.
So it's quite a big country. Yours is quite a big country too. Okay, so this is Argentina. As you can see, a very vast country. We have mountains on the west, the bordering with Chile. We have ocean, we have the sea to the east, right? So we have lots of different geographies in the same. Look at in terms of geographical distribution, you see, north, south, in terms of geographical distribution, 60% of Argentinian population is concentrated in only 22% of the total area of Argentina. So as you can see, we have many people living in some cities, and then we have places of land, mountains, okay, wild areas. So Argentina has approximately 45 million people. Argentina, 45 million people. Now, this coming week, we are having our census. So we'll get to know more exactly how many we are. But up to now, the number is approximately 45 million. But as I said, Argentina is divided into 24 provinces, which are, for example, states. In other countries, we call it states. Here we call them provinces.
Just like Indonesia, provinces.
Right, okay. I live in the province of Buenos Aires. That is where Mar del Plata is, the province of Buenos Aires. And Buenos Aires is one of the biggest provinces with the most number of people, right? So it's got a federal system of government, right? That is, each province has a jurisdiction, but they all belong to the same nation or republic.
Republic.
Yes, it's a republic.
Like Indonesia is also a republic, and we have 33 provinces.
33.
Yeah, 33 provinces.
Yes, Indonesia is a very big country. All right, so let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's start talking about education, right? So education here in Argentina is, I would say that education is a responsibility that is shared by the national government, first of all. Yes. And then each province has a jurisdiction on education, and it has something to do with the matter, with the decisions they make, I mean. And then we have the federal districts, all right? And but the basic guidelines have historically been set by the Ministry of Education. That is the one that gives us all the guidelines for all the countries, the provinces. Yes, so we have the national government, the provinces, the federal districts, and then the Ministry of Education that has the guidelines for everything. We have private and public schools here, public or state, I mean, the ones that the state, the republic pays for the education in the public or state schools, and private schools are usually paid, all right? Sometimes they get some help from the government, but some others do not, and you have to pay. But you have lots of public schools so that you don't need to pay, and you have many different options for public schools. So this is a picture, one of my schools. This is one of the schools here, Nuestra Señora del Camino in Mar del Plata. And there you can see some of the students at my school, right? Classes here in Argentina go through March, beginning of March, to end of November. In December, we have some exam periods. And then January and half February, we have our summer holidays. January and the first 2 weeks in February. The other 2 weeks in February are exams again. And then we start classes in March, right? Then we have a winter break, 2 weeks in July, a winter break. Winters here in Argentina are very strong, very, very cold. So this was thought at the beginning so that people could get home, could be at home and not outside with that cold weather. But the thing is that all the people in these times go skiing, they go on vacation, they are outside, of course, enjoying the free time. Nobody stays home. Then we have some national holidays throughout the year, mainly Christian celebrations such as Easter, right? Well, Christmas, Virgin Mary's Day. And then we have some other national holidays like Independence Day and other historically relevant days that we celebrate.
So your Christmas is in summer? Your Christmas?
Exactly.
Ah,
yes.
Okay, you don't have white Christmas?
No, no white Christmas for us. In the city where I live, it doesn't snow.
Oh,
Even in winter, it's very, very cold, but it doesn't snow because we are very close. We are near the sea. We are by the sea. It snows in some provinces that are near the mountains, but not here. I think there was once it snowed in Mar del Plata once in a lifetime. And that was like, wow, everybody took pictures of it because nobody could believe it. That was a once in a lifetime snow. And it's recorded as the historical snow in Mar del Plata. All right. So far, how are we doing? Yes, Epi?
Yeah, okay, you can continue, I think.
All right.
Yeah.
So, education, sorry, I didn't talk about the in private, the way we dress when we go to school. I forgot to say that in the previous slide. In private schools, they have rules about the uniform. Each private school has its own uniform. So you can easily see when you're walking in the street and you see people or boys, girls wearing uniforms, you can easily say which school they go to because of their uniforms. Oh, this is black and white, he goes to that school. Oh, this is red and white and green, that he goes to that school because they represent the school. For the public schools, we don't have that such thing. We just have like, maybe, I don't know if you call it pinafores. Is that what you call them?
What is it?
I don't know if you, maybe pinafores?
And you write
or
down the checkbooks?
Well, I don't know. It's like a white dress that they have on. So if you see this, white coats, like the white coat, maybe doctors use sometimes, similar to the white coat doctors use. Well, all students who attend public schools wear these white coats. So you can easily say which school you go to by the uniform you're wearing, all right? And in some secondary schools, you don't have such thing as uniforms. You just go dressed as you want, right?
And about the schools you teach, Paola, is it public or private schools? Are they?
I teach
because you teach in three schools.
Yes, I teach three private schools,
private school.
but they have some help from the government to pay the teachers' salaries. It's very, very common here in Argentina that the government helps many schools with some amount of money, right? My schools are not, that is the schools where I teach, not my schools. The schools where I teach have a very low fee, let's say. We have very expensive private schools which offer some extracurricular activities like sports, arts, and other things. But the schools where I work offer some extracurricular activities, and they are not so expensive. They are quite affordable, right? Okay, so let's see. This is how education is organized in Argentina. We have, maybe I think you can see the chart pretty well, right? We have pre-primary school, then we have 6 years of primary education. When you finish primary education at 12 years old, you go to the lower secondary. That is like lower secondary are 3 years of education from 12 to 14, right? And in this, you have the basic subjects. Then the upper secondary, the last 3 years of your secondary school, which is a 6-year program, secondary school, divided into 2, lower secondary and upper secondary, you have an oriented area. That is, you study according to what you want to be in the future. Maybe you choose economics, you choose humanities, you choose arts, or languages, or sports. So these 3 last years of your secondary school will be about this topic that you've chosen, all right? The problem is that some students at 15 years old don't have any clue about what they want to be in the future. So that's the problem. And they say, well, what shall I choose? Economics, humanity? I don't have a clue. So they just choose the orientation based on friends. Where do all my friends go? Well, that's where they go.
How about their parents? Don't they have suggestion? Don't they give suggestion to the students to choose the major? To do
Yes,
it.
Yes, but the problem is that at 15, they are sometimes not sure about the future. But never mind, because you can you can easily enter university. You can choose another field of study and do well in spite of having chosen another orientation at your secondary school. So that's not a problem. When you finish secondary school, you can choose what to do. You can choose to finish secondary school and start working. Many people do that. It depends on the social, economic level. Many choose to start working and don't study anymore. Some others choose a tertiary level, and some others choose to study at university. So those are like the 3 main options, all right? Again, here we have private institutions and public institutions. We have in this upper secondary school, we have this technical school also. So students end up with some ability to do something that can lead them to get a job very quickly, right? Good. So according to the UNESCO 2018, the literacy rate in Argentina was 99%, which is quite well, I would say. And there you have it, the chart. According to different ages or age groups, you have exactly the amount. But it was like, it was ranked as the 28th country. So it was pretty good. It has a good literacy. And mainly the most illiterate were the elderly people, but that is pretty good. If you compare these rates to other South American countries, this is pretty good. All right, and this is higher education, right? Higher education, that is, as you can see, two distinct types. You can work or you can study, right? Higher studies. And there are two different types of higher institutions, right? Or universities. You can have university studies or you can have tertiary levels, right? Tertiary, or you say non-university or post-secondary. Some of the names are in Spanish there. The length of their careers. The length of their careers is the difference. And then the certificate that you get, that's another difference. The value the certificate has for further studies or for job opportunities. That is the difference. So you can have in this non-university or post-secondary studies, you can have things such as technical education, vocational education, teacher training, art school, okay? There are more than 2,000 institutions that you can choose from in Argentina to study at this non-university level, half of which more or less is public, half of which more or less is private, right? We have lots of public higher education available for not only for Argentinians, but for other people from other countries who are welcomed to come and study here. So that's very interesting. Then I'll refer to that. So then if we talk about universities, we've got quite many options to offer. We have more than 120, approximately more than 120 universities that are fully recognized and the certifications are fully recognized. And half of them are public, half of them are private. There's a broad variety of programs that you can choose from, right? And the thing here is the standards which each university has and the recognition then the certificates get in the different provinces. So we would say that we have quite a variety that are easily recognized by the different provinces. Oh, look at that. She's really cute. Sorry, I got distracted for a minute. I got sidetracked because she's so beautiful. All right, well, so sometimes, as I said, the problem is the challenge for the lack of articulation that creates this problem of transferability, right? Of the credentials and recognitions, but you can easily do it. Okay. I'm checking that I'm not forgetting anything here. All right. As you can imagine, we all have some issues that we deal with. Education in Argentina is an issue all the time. And we are very worried about this because we strongly believe that education is the only way out for our nation. So we really, really care about this. The different provinces have far-reaching autonomy over educational matters. So there are disparities, and that's the problem. There are disparities in terms of access to education, budgets, that is the government's budget, infrastructure, teachers' salaries. I don't know if this is the same there. I'd like to know. But these are the things we usually struggle with. And well, there are some, mainly after the pandemic, there were some worries about the dropout rates at secondary levels. They are working on that. But these are mainly the biggest issues in education now, right? Lack of technological innovation, mainly in state schools. It's like the budget for state schools is not enough, or it's not as it should be. So people complain that public schools should have more technological innovation. So these are the problems. Then, of course, there's a problem, there's a solution, or at least we are working to find solutions for these problems. So in 2006, the National Institute for Teacher Education was established, right? With the idea of maybe helping create more standards for education throughout the nation, you see? Same as standards of academic qualifications, because the problem was that each provinces had their own rules. And then if you went to live to another province, your diploma or your qualifications were not accepted, let's say. So you had to do lots of papers that took a long time just to get your credentials. But they are working on this. And then the curriculum that it was established with a nationwide, right? Sometimes many years ago, they had different curriculums in each province, and that was really a mess, okay? I don't know if I'm going too fast here. You would like to ask anything? So this, the Teacher Education Institute was established to provide like the same standards for all the teacher programs, the teacher training programs throughout the country. It would be more coherent, okay? So that was pretty interesting. Okay. Now let's see, I was going to mention this, I told you, Argentina as compared to other Latin American countries in terms of higher education, okay? So Argentina is the country with the most international students in Latin America. And that is because there's no entry exam. When students finish secondary school, they don't need to take any exam to enter university. They just enroll and that's it. Some of you are clapping there. Come here, come here. But that's not the only thing. Wait, there's more to it. There's no entry exam, at least no, you can have some exams, but if you fail them, no problem. You can still enter university. So this is like this in almost all the universities. You may have some little exceptions, but you can enter university. Sorry, I forgot to say in the previous slides that compulsory education in Argentina goes through 4 years old. That is interesting. 4 years old to 17, 18. Our year ends June the 30th. So that is compulsory education. So going back to why Argentina is a good country to come and study here. No entry exams. Higher education in Argentina is considered one of the most prestigious in South America. And it's not because I am Argentinian that I'm saying this. You can go check it. But yes, this is for real. One of the most prestigious. Another good cause, good reason is that it's free. You have, as I said, hundreds of universities, and most of them are free. You don't pay anything. You know that there are some countries around the world where higher education is really expensive. So this is quite a good thing about it. You can live and work here in Argentina with no restrictions at all. So you just can come here, live and study. And the last one, that is what, it's not me saying this, it's what students say. Nightlife in Argentina is big fun. So that is apparently an attraction for students. This is not it's not academic, but it's one of the reasons why they choose it. No, look, in Argentina, we have in Argentinian universities, we have lots of foreigners, mainly from Peru, you know, the neighboring countries I showed you at the beginning, Peru. We have many students from Brazil, Venezuela, even Chile, because in Chile, which is a neighboring country, education is very expensive for them. Way much more expensive than it can be here or in any other country, or in the United States. Many people, many students, or I think most of the students in Argentina who finish secondary school stay here in Argentina to study. You can have some very small amount of students that choose to study at the United States, right? Because they get some scholarships, some sport scholarships, and they go there. Some few students go to Europe, but most of them stay here because really you can have a, as I said, a very good education quality. So this is it for me. I don't know if you have any questions or you would like to share anything. I hope I haven't forgotten anything. I'll check my notes. You want to come here and study?
Okay, I think so far it's interesting to come. It's interesting to come.
The best thing was the nightlife, wasn't it?
Hello.
Hello there. Hi. Hi, darling. All right. So this is it for me. I don't know if you have any questions. I'm checking my notes in case I forgot to say anything.
Okay, now we move to the question and answer session. Maybe if you want to ask something to Paola, you can ask anything here, anything about education or about the country. Okay, or I should call the students one by one. Okay, wait. Okay, maybe we can start from Mas Lihan. Mas Lihan, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. Do you have questions? Do you have any questions for Paola?
Yes, ma'am. I can look my question. Okay, Mr. Paula, I want to ask.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Miss, not Mr. Miss Paola.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
okay. That's okay.
I'm sorry.
No problem. No problem.
Did anyone arrange to study in Argentina? If there, with such an organization? Okay, that is.
If you want to study here in Argentina, well, I would say that there are no organizations, there are universities where you study. There are some programs that maybe you can Google many programs, because some programs are intended for students to come and learn Spanish and then enter university. Maybe then I can give Pepe a list of some of these institutions. I should look for the names, but there are some programs. Was that your question?
Maybe what Mas Lihan wants to ask is about the curriculum. So who arranged the curriculum of education in Argentina? Is it the Ministry of Education, or do you have any institution that arrange the organization or institution that arrange for the education?
Who defines the curriculum, you mean?
Yeah, yes.
Yes, that is the Ministry of Education. Yes. As I said, each province has its own independence, but they all belong to the ministry, the National Ministry of Education. And he gives us the guidelines for everything. So we have to comply to those guidelines.
So the Ministry of Education have the guideline to the curriculum, and each province, each province do something about the schools in their own area. Okay, so it's similar
Right.
to Indonesia. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, now I think Rogip, the next question I think from Rogip. Okay, Mas Likan, do you still have any other questions?
Normal.
Okay, thank you, Mas Likan. And now we go to Rogip. Rogip, do you have any questions? Okay.
Questions or maybe anything you would like to share? I wonder if I was clear with my presentation. I was clear enough.
Yeah, clear enough.
Yes.
I think. Ragib.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any question, Ragib?
I want to ask, is it true that in Argentina there are public school that implement to public school? That is morning school from morning to afternoon and afternoon school from afternoon to evening.
Yes, very good that you said that, because I didn't talk about the shifts. That's a good question. Well, in Argentina, we have 2 shifts and sometimes 3 shifts during the day. And that is because there are lots of students and not so many schools as there should be. You know, for example, in England, you have just 1 shift that goes from 9 to 2. But in Argentina, we wish we could have that. But as we don't have many schools, we have to divide the shifts. So we have morning shift, afternoon shift for primary and pre-primary, primary, and secondary. You can choose from morning shift to and afternoon shift. The usual time is 4 hours and a half, right? 4 hours and a half each shift. So you can choose. This is public school. In private schools, where you can have some extracurricular subjects, public schools have longer shifts, right? But public schools, just morning or afternoon. And then university, at university, you can choose from 3 shifts: morning, evening, and afternoon. Yes. It depends on the university which shifts are available, but mostly have these 3 shifts, because many people, when they go to university, work at the same time. So they need to be able to choose the most convenient.
Okay, similar situation here also. We have 2 shifts for university, morning and evening. Okay, okay. Is it answered your questions?
Enough, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Rogip. Now we go to Aji. Is Aji here? Aji? Aji? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, Aji. Aji is very excited. Okay, Aji, what is your question, Aji?
Wait, ma'am. Okay, I want to ask, how is the education
Yes,
system in
go ahead,
Latin?
please.
In Argentina.
Sorry, your question was?
Aji?
How is the education system in Argentina?
Yes, what is it? What is it like, you
What
mean?
is it?
The pandemic.
Okay, okay. Maybe how was the education system in Argentina during the pandemic? The last 2 years.
That was,
okay. Last year.
That's a very good question. Well, it was a real challenge, I would say. I think as it was in other parts of the world, it was a real challenge. It was like a trial and error at the beginning, a trial and error period where we just tried new things every day to see what worked and what wasn't. Many parents complained that students weren't doing anything, that the students weren't learning. And the teachers we were struggling with technology, learning lots of new programs and devices, how to manage different devices to access the students who were at home. So it was really difficult. But I think with hard work, we found the way out. But the thing is that it was really affected. Education was really affected in these 2 years. So now we are dealing with these students, knowing that they have some gap, this 2-year gap, and we have to work hard to try and make this, or to improve this or fill in that gap. But it was a struggle, yes. Many students could continue attending classes through Zoom, Meet, and any other platforms. Maybe some students from, as I said, Argentina is very vast country. Some rural areas that didn't have any internet connection, yes, they couldn't keep learning, and that was a real problem. They were the most affected, the ones who didn't have any internet connection.
Yeah, so how long did you conduct the distance learning in Argentina? How long?
A year and a half.
A year
And a half. And that was quite a lot. People in Argentina complained to the government that that was too long. It was impossible, that kids should be at school, not only because of academic purposes, but also for social purposes. Little kids need to be with their friends, with their mates at school. So that was a real problem between the people, the citizens, and the government.
Okay, because last time when you invited me to join your class, it is already in the classroom. Yeah, it's already.
Yes.
I think around October or November.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that was the first half year. Last year, the second half of the year, last year, we started going back to school.
Okay.
And that's where we had you.
Okay, you were earlier in going back to school, because we just started in January. Okay.
In January.
In January, we going back to school. We went back to school in January. Okay, and we have to do the distance learning again I think in March. Yeah, in March or February, because of Omicron for a month, and then we going back again. Yeah.
This 2022, you mean?
Yeah,
2022.
2022.
You went back to distant learning.
Yeah, but now we already at school.
Okay. Well, when it was the Omicron spread, we were on holiday.
Yeah. Okay. That's like
here, so we didn't. Yes, we had to cancel our holidays because of that. That was no good.
So it is the question from Aji. Is it enough, Aji?
Clear, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Aji. And now we go to I think Farah Habibah. Farah Habibah.
Hello, Miss Paola.
Hi.
Okay, I wanna ask for 2 questions. First, in Argentina, is English lesson a compulsory subject for children who attend elementary school to high school?
Okay, yes, it is. It wasn't compulsory in kindergarten until some years ago. Now we have English. All the schools have English in kindergarten. At least 5 years old, they start with English classes at 5 years old, and it is compulsory until they finish secondary school. They have 2 hours a week compulsory English education.
Yeah.
Private schools where people pay, they have more hours of English. And there are some bilingual schools also, which are very expensive, but we have bilingual schools. And your second question was?
Yeah, and the second question is, as far as I know, the official language of Argentina is Spanish. Then is English very important to learn there? For example, it may be used to enroll in a university or as one of the requirements of applying for a job, or maybe anything else.
Okay, right. Good question. English, yes, the official language is only Spanish, but I would say many people, and according to statistics in Argentina, many people speak English pretty well, actually. But it's not a requisite that you need to enter any university here. There's no need to have an English certificate to enroll. But many people do it because we know that learning English is a great, very valuable tool to get a job. And not even if you're planning to go abroad, but with this globalized country where we live in, we have many multinational companies working in Argentina, and they prefer to have employers that speak English, right? So it's not a requisite, but we know that it's a plus that you have in your curriculum if you have knowledge of English. And many people speak English here in Argentina. Yes.
Okay. Farah?
So most of you can speak English. Okay.
Yes, I would say most of people, but not, I mean, the people who know they want to do something with it. It's not that you go through the street and you can, right, maybe you're looking for a job, or they are just thinking about their career prospects because they are still too young, but thinking about their career prospects. Many secondary school students start English in an institute, for example. Apart from school, they study English in an institute because they want to learn more and more. But maybe if you go to the center of the city and you start speaking English, I don't know, it's not that everyone will understand,
yes,
but most of them.
Yes. Thank you, Miss Paola.
Okay.
You're welcome.
So the young people in Argentina are motivated to learn English. Most of them.
Yes. Because they understand that is a key in this world we live in nowadays. It's key.
Okay, I see. Okay, now we go to Alisa. Maybe Alisa. Is Alisa still there? Alisa Putratunada. Alisa, where is Alisa?
Maybe it's time for dinner for you. It's dinner time
no.
there.
We have dinner very early at 6 p.m. We already have dinner 6 until 7.
So you had already had dinner.
Yeah, I don't know about the others. Do you have you already had dinner, guys? Didi, Nurul, Ula, have you already had dinner?
No.
No, I think. Okay, Alisa.
You have dinner at the very early time.
Yeah, because it's already evening. 6 p.m. is already evening. Okay, Alisa. Alisa is here, I think. Okay, Alisa, what's your presence?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Hey, where is Alisa? Okay, Alisa is.
Alisa.
Okay, yeah, Alisa.
Wanna ask something about in Argentina there is private school, and do private school in Argentina also follow the curriculum in there?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Right. Both private and public schools must stick to the curriculum. Yes, that curriculum that is set by the Ministry of Education. Yes, if you don't follow the curriculum, then the certificate is not accepted. The certificate you get at the end. So all the schools, no matter if they are private or public, must comply to the curriculum. Yes.
So Alisa, is it enough or do you still have another questions?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
You're
Yes.
welcome.
Okay, thank you, Alisa. Now we go to Ifat Sufairo. Sufa?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello, Miss Paula.
Hi, hello.
Okay. My question for today is, how about like special students, like in school? Is they have their own class or like mixed with other students?
That's a very good question. Yes, I didn't think about that. Yes. You mean children with some kind of disability?
Yeah,
Yes.
with some disability.
Right. Yes. Well, we have, of course, lots. I would say that we are having more and more students with any kind of disability. Our approach in Argentina is to include them in the class. We work together because we are all different, no matter disabilities or no. We all have some special thing about us. So we consider them as them. We are just a person with some kind of special thing to care about. So our approach is we work all together in the same class with the same teacher, but the teacher is instructed on how to approach that specific student with those and the student's needs, right? So there are some extra teachers that help you, not in the class with you, but they help you like advisory teachers. They help you with some advice on what you can do, what are the things that that student can or can't do, what are the things that will benefit the student, the context that will benefit it. So I would say that this is quite a challenge for the teachers because sometimes you don't really know what to do or how to do it, but we have these advisory teachers that help us quite a lot.
Also,
Not only physical disabilities,
Yeah,
right? Emotional,
yeah.
psychological, all kinds of disabilities.
Yeah, that's what I mean about autism students or Down syndrome students. Do you also include them in the regular classroom? Okay, because I think it's a little bit. Yes. Yeah.
She wants to participate. I don't know what she's saying, but I think she wants to participate.
She said that she wants something.
Maybe she's saying that I'm talking too much.
No. So, okay. Students with autism and Down syndrome, I think in my imagination is a little bit difficult to handle that kind of students, but you include them in the regular.
Yes, they all have, yes. And the school is responsible for finding the way, maybe if a student uses a wheelchair, for example, and the school has stairs, the school is responsible to build a ramp so that the student can access the classroom. That is the school's responsibility.
And how about, okay, the government does the government help the schools with that kind of facilities for the disabled students? I mean, if the schools have more the students with disabilities, okay, do they get more money from the government to build the facilities?
Yes, of course. But it's not it's the school who has to afford that, not parents.
Okay, so far, do you still have another questions?
No, I have done all.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Miss.
Great, it was a pleasure.
Okay, now. Okay, okay, now we go to Ula. Nurul Nikmatul Ula.
Yes.
Is Nurul
Morning, Miss
Nikmatul Ula.
Paola.
Okay, yeah.
Good morning. Well, good evening to you.
Okay, I wanna ask, does in Argentina get to go to college while working at a part-time job?
Okay, okay. Yeah.
You mean if you can work part-time as you study, whilst you study?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, of course. Many university students work and study. Son, I'm going to make a personal reference. I have a son who's 23 years old. He is studying engineering at a public school, university. And he is on his last year in the program. And he works at the same time. And he can perfectly do both things. Of course, he struggles with it because he works and studies, but he can do that. And many students do that. Some students do it because they have to afford their lives, let's say. I mean, they have to pay for everyday things. Some people come from towns, small towns that are around the big cities. So they have to come to the big cities and to live there and study. So they need money to pay the rent, to buy the food, okay? So they just have to work in order to do that. And then I have a daughter who is 20 and she is studying medicine at a public university also. She doesn't work, but she could if she wanted to.
I think the similar thing also happened here. Okay, some students here also have to work while studying. They have part-time jobs. Okay,
right.
Students here. And sorry, Ula.
Yes, thank you, Miss Paola.
Okay, now we go to Dita. Dita, are you there? Dita. Yes, Dita. Dita, where are you? Dita is outside. Dita. Okay, or should I skip Dita? Dita, do you still want to ask or? Dita. Okay, maybe we go to Dita later.
Yes,
Maybe
ma'am.
she already had her
all
question
right,
answered.
okay, Dita. Okay, Dita. Okay. What is your question, Dita?
I wanna ask.
Oh.
How long is school in Argentina, ma'am?
Okay. How long? Okay. How long the school time? Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Oh, where are you? It's like you are a, what a nice place. Is that your place where you live?
Yes.
I think she is in the night market. Night market.
Oh, that's
Pasar malam.
beautiful. That's beautiful. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I couldn't help take a sneak peek there because it was so attractive. Oh, great. That's good. So how long is the school period? It goes from March to end of November. And we have exams in December and the last 2 weeks in February. Exams for the students who couldn't pass their subjects during school term, that is March to November. The students who can pass the subjects from March to November don't need to take exams. So those students have longer holidays. They have December, January, and February summer holidays. But the ones who failed some subjects have to sit for exams in December and in the last weeks of February. Is that your question answered?
Is it your question, Rita?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great.
Okay.
Enjoy there in that beautiful place you are.
Okay. Okay. Do you still have any other question, guys? The last question is Rita. Okay. How about the other students? Because it's already almost 8:30 p.m. here. Okay, I think it's almost 1.5 hour. Do you still have any other
Okay.
questions, or we can end the meeting here?
Did you
How about
take
the
a
other?
picture, Pepe? Did you
Yeah.
take pictures?
Yeah, after this we will take the picture together with you.
Great. Okay. Very good.
Uh-huh.
So that we all post them on social media.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Any other questions, or is it enough?
No questions. Well,
No
let me
question.
tell you a big thank you. Thank you. It was great to share with you.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, thanks a lot for joining
Thank
us,
you,
Miss
Miss
Paula.
Paula.
Thanks for your time. Okay. Okay, so Paula, can you
My
stop your
pleasure.
sharing? Okay, can you stop your screen sharing?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
There we are.
So we can take the picture together with in one first thing. Okay. Levi, can you help me to take the screenshot?
Miss Paula, how can you speak English very clearly and so very like your accent?
Thank you very much. Well, you know, practice, practice, and practice. And also, I think that listening to native speakers all the time helps a lot. Maybe listen to podcasts, watch series, or follow native English people on Instagram. Or follow
Yes,
me on
that's
my
true.
Instagram.
Okay.
Then then Pepe will tell you about my EFE English Instagram.
English, yeah.
Right, great.
Okay, I follow both. I follow both your private account
Yes,
and
my
also
accounts. Yes.
EFE English.
Yes,
Your
Pepe,
private
I
one.
know, I know. Thank you very much. I
Okay.
really appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. My pleasure. Okay, and I hope the students will also follow your account. Okay, I mentioned you in my last post, and also
Yes,
and I think
yes.
the students have also seen the.
Yes, of course. Because sometimes I usually post some games or interviews or questions, so that it's another way of practicing English.
Yeah.
But you'd better follow native speakers.
Yeah.
Me and native speakers. All right.
You also sometimes also post some quizzes, yeah, quizzes.
Exactly, some quizzes.
in
Yes,
EFE.
they are like an
Yeah.
entertaining way of practicing your English. Of course, today I'll post this meeting, Pepe.
Yeah. Levi, have you take some picture with post?
Done. Check.
Wait. Where are the others? Participants. Okay. Intan, maybe you can turn on your video. Okay, good. Okay, very beautiful. All of you are beautiful and handsome. Show your beautiful faces. Beautiful smile, sweet smile. Dan Levi. Oke. Beri aba-aba Levi. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Or what? Oke.
I got a bit lost. What are we doing right now?
Yeah.
What are we doing? We are freezing like this, waiting for the picture.
Waiting for Levi to take some screenshot, I think, but he doesn't give us any instruction. Okay, smile and Levi, what are you doing? Okay, have you done taking some screenshot?
I have bad connection. Sorry, ma'am.
Oh, okay, I see.
He's the technique guy. He's the technique guy.
Yeah.
Great. It's
Great.
good to have one in the group.
Alright.
Yes, I'm not good at these things.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, have you done, Levi?
Done, ma'am.
Okay, Ahmad Fahrasi Misbah, and we usually call him Levi, yeah, not Ahmad. Okay,
Yeah.
Levi. Okay, now you can see.
So,
yeah, okay.
So you're all studying to be English teachers.
Yeah, hopefully
they good.
Okay, hopefully,
so many colleagues. Very good. All right.
Hopefully,
Great.
they are expected to be the professional English teachers. Hopefully, yeah.
Great. Best of luck for you. A wonderful career. So enjoyable.
Yeah.
No,
But
no.
no, why not? Why not? Just like
Not
what
enjoyable.
Just like what you said, Paola. The private English teacher, here get low payment. Yeah, low payment.
Yes. Well, but that never mind. The best thing, I think the best thing is to love what you do, no matter how much you earn.
It's with
Love
our
what
hearts.
you do.
Yes. It's with our hearts, yeah.
Appreciate it.
Exactly.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Love what you do, because that way you will never get tired of it. I've been teaching for more than 25 years. I'm not rich whatsoever, but I'm so happy doing what I do. Really happy.
So
that's what it counts after all.
And that's why you look younger. You look younger than your
Thank you very much.
always look younger.
I'll turn 49 in 2 months. 49 years old, almost half a century. Wow. Put that way.
Still look younger, I believe.
Oh my God. You look so younger.
Oh, thank you very much. Let's have this talk more often, Pepe.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, well.
Okay, do you still have something to say to Paola, everyone? No, okay, it's enough.
Of course, you can contact me. You can feel free to contact me on social media, please.
Instagram.
And you can ask me any questions.
Okay, maybe next time if you invite me again in your classroom, I will bring them all. Okay. Sorry. Okay. No more words to say to Paola. Okay, you can say goodbye. Good
All right.
Good morning.
Great.
Bye, Miss. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you very much for your time. Paola.
Thank you very much.
Bye. See you next time.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye, Pepe.
Yeah,
Thank you
goodbye,
very
Paola.
much for this time together. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
Bye.
You're welcome. Okay, you can leave, Paola. You can leave the room.
Sorry?
You can leave the room now.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.